Welcome guys. So our git clone has been done. Now we have downloaded the git repository. So it's over here and I can close these. Now we'll proceed to the next step and it would be downloading this. So I assume that you would have already downloaded this while the cloning was happening. If not, you have to do this because this has a build tool called Ninja, and Ninja would invoke so many command line stuff and it would actually run the compilation process. So I will move to the third bit, and we are using Visual Studio 2017 environment, and what you need to do is, after installing Visual Studio and all the C++ section, basically you download a web-based installer for Visual Studio, and then you set up the desktop environment C++. You have to choose that option and leave everything default. That should be fine. And if you get any compilation error, you must have Windows SDK 8.1 installed. So if you do that correctly and if you type over here, so you will see something like developer command prompt for Visual Studio 2017. It has all the compiler, the linker, the Visual C++ compiler with the same compiler, but it can compile C as well as C++. Now in Linux you have GCC or G++, so here you do not need anything as such, because from the command line arguments it can find which type of file that is. Even looking at the file extension, it can know which type of file that is. So what I do is I pin it to my taskbar and I can just click it and launch it. So it looks like this. So we'll navigate to our directory, this one. So I am using Windows 10. So we are inside that. Now here what we need is we can just simply follow the steps. Open the Windows DDK. This is for a developing device driver development kit, or WDK. So this is another this is not SDK, it's another driver for driver development. Now we are using this one, so we are all set for option 1. There are two methods to compile using Microsoft Visual C++. If you prefer older method of building, just configure as usual, which is the default one, and to generate Visual Studio solution files instead using the following command. We will take this one. I have tried this option as well, but I got some errors, and even after building that there were so many warnings and the operating system didn't build properly. So as both of them uses Visual Studio compiler, Visual C++ compiler, so this method is more reliable. So to follow along the video, you should pick this one, and this might be more useful for debugging purposes, but as we are going to anyway use the WinDBG, so we wouldn't probably need to look at the C sample. And I have not tried that, how that whether I will take the approach of full assembly language thing or the C language thing, because I am more geared towards reverse engineering. I am not focused more on how it looks like in C++. That is for the C++ developers out there. So here we are talking about even more low level stuff, so I would probably stick with the assembly. So we will see. So right now let's go with this one, configure.cmd. so I will type it, config, and then tab and hit enter. So it will start the process. It will generate this directory, this guy over here. Now you're seeing this thing because of after installing of this guy. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to see this thing. So it will take a while, and it should not take much time, like as much as downloading the GitHub repository, because it's just creating the directory and the source file into different folders, and you can take a look at it even. So it generated this directory over here. So it's it will populate the directory structure and everything. So looks like it's taking a while, so I will wait for it and I will pause the video, and this is the second part, and in the third part we would be compiling the operating system, and I will see you in the third part. Thank you.